But I see beauty in everyone. But truthfully, there's something that we can do differently. And when you see little changes in yourself, it helps to enhance your confidence.
Welcome to That's Darn Good. I'm Janelle Ball, and I'm excited to bring you thought-provoking conversations about biologics, specialty medications, treatments, and so much more. I'll be chatting with some amazing guests about access, affordability, and advocacy. You're really going to enjoy this show. Welcome to That's Darn Good. Today, my guest is Dr. Joy Evans. She is the founder and owner, medical director at Medela Amor, Columbus's only physician-led concierge and medical aesthetic clinic. Welcome, Dr. Evans. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me on this platform.
Yes, it's so exciting. There's this TV show, it was on USA or something. It was a while ago. And it was about this physician. He was like a concierge in the Hamptons. Yes. And I just thought I'm that is such a cool idea. Yes, why wouldn't more people do that? If I can call a doctor to come to my house, I'm sure that's happening, but.
Yes, I'm happy that you're starting out with even just that, description, because the way we started was using the term mobile MD. And then there were some people who didn't understand it. They thought we had a truck somewhere where you could just show up and get services. Mm-hmm. And it's no, we're trying to make ourselves accessible. We want to be able to come to you. So maybe we use the word concierge and it allows for more of an understanding. So yes, it's just the accessibility of the service.
Right. It makes sense. I mean, that's what everybody's looking for now. They want something that's, quick and not have to call and wait months at a time to get in for an appointment.
Yes.
I love that. Yes. So your background, you studied and practiced medicine all across the country. What brought you to Columbus and to start your practice here?
Oh, very good question. Do you have time for this?
Oh, yeah.
I'll make it brief. But my background is in anesthesiology. I'm a pediatric and adult anesthesiologist. And I've enjoyed the platform that being in medicine has given for me to be able to provide service. And while it's still very much a part of my passion, I've been privileged to engage in mission trips. And I find that it's even more fulfilling. And so my husband and I met a year and a half ago, and he's the reason why I moved from Florida to Columbus. And we found that our passion for mission aligns. And so we started to think of ways where we can continue to be of service so that eventually what we do doesn't quite hinder us from being able to travel the world. So that's how we're here. Majority of my career has been in Florida, sunny Florida. It wasn't even a thing when it was time to move to Columbus. I go, this is my life. It's not about a weather. It's about, a movement and a place in life that I think God is taking us to. So that's how I got here.
I love that. Yeah, most people in Columbus are moving down to Florida or Myrtle Beach area. Those are the two areas. Everybody's trying to get out of this weather, but I love that. That's
good for them.
That's so amazing. So what kind of mission trips were you guys doing?
So for the past 13 years or so, I've engaged in missions with Interplast South. I'm actually the lead anesthesiologist. It's a missions for craniofacial surgeries for kids. We do cleft lip and palate repairs. It's a team of our lead surgeon is a plastic surgeon who also has a background in pediatric surgery. And we have a strong team of anesthetists and nurses that we take with us to the same hospital in Honduras in San Pedro Sula. It's called Ruth Paz. And it's been one of the most, fulfilling things that we've ever done. There was a moment where we were able to go twice a year. And then with family and work, we changed it. We dialed it down to once a year. And then I met my husband, and I have my very precious aunt who's from the Gambia. Her mom passed away sadly a few years ago, and she promised her mom that she would provide the country the service that they can't provide. And so what has happened is the people of Gambia, when they have a very challenging case, they've had to fly them to a different country. Mm-hmm. So she promised her mom that she would do everything to bring quality and care to the country of Gambia. So I met my husband, and once he understood what the project was about, he jumped on board. This year in February, we visited, and we were just so captivated by just everything that was happening. And there's a need in this world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just more inspired to do what we can to provide service in this capacity, make people happy so that we can then give more. And the people that we reach out to, hopefully will find greater inspiration in themselves once they're able to tap into that thing within them.
Mm-hmm.
That is, sometimes dormant. It makes them more productive and makes them more given. So that's how this has all come about.
Wow, that is so powerful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So once you moved here and you decided to found Medela Amor, first tell me about the name. Where did the name come from? I love that name.
Yeah. So Medela Amor is Latin for healing love. And
Mm.
again, my husband and I were in phases of our lives where we just were broken, we're people who give so much of ourselves. And we didn't realize how much we needed the healing ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. And so you come together and you start to understand just the power of what God has in store for you. And you start to find truthfulness and you start to see light in everything. And then you start to kind of focus on what's the most important, and that is healing. Mm-hmm. Once you heal, you have like this passion to be able to do more, right? You start to look in the good in everything and not necessarily what's not good. Because trust me, there's so much out there, but it's like you start to choose what's positive and not what's negative. And so that's where it comes from. Just finding that healing allows us to do more.
Yeah. I love how you said that too, because it is so easy with, social media and with everything that's just going on in the world that it's easy for us to just look at the negative. Yes. And I feel like that, to me, even, I just feel like I was just saying this actually to my sister-in-law the other day. I'm like, why is everything just so negative? Like everybody's always got the negative outlook on things and not looking for anything good. Yes. So it's like, if we're focusing on the negative, then negative is going to happen. If we're focusing on positive, that changes your whole outlook on life. And I love how you incorporate that within your practice. I think that's really amazing.
It's consuming, but once you understand just what matters more, it doesn't make you unaware of, the things that just don't feel right, but you don't have to dwell on it, so, right. And it comes from just finding that healing within. And truthfully, it's also a connection with God that we hope everyone can find. So,
yeah. What do you think is the most rewarding piece of your work and your practice?
It is actually making people feel good. A lot of people come in feeling as if I'm here because I have, this, whatever it is, this lesion on my face, or, I'm tired. I have no energy. I don't feel good. I feel like I need to lose X amount of weight, But when you find, compassion and other things, especially in the care that you're getting, it changes your outlook. So it's like you start to suddenly not dwell on it. Okay. You start to hopefully find fulfillment within yourself that makes everything else secondary.
Right.
So we're just the type of people that enjoy meeting people. We want to know about them. We want them to feel good. And when we start to see it happening, it's priceless.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So tell me, how did you transition from anesthesiology to a med spa and aesthetics?
That's a very good question. So in anesthesiology, it entails knowing everything about your patient. It's one of those specialties that's very unique in medicine, where most other specialties are so specialized that you're focusing on one thing, okay? Like one part of the body, one aspect of care. It could be acute, it could be traumatic, it could be surgical, it could be anything, But it's so focused. Anesthesia is one that requires you knowing everything about the patient and also understanding how things can change very quickly. Okay. We're always looking for what can go wrong. We're, again, we have to be very vigilant and we have to be very curious. And so in the profession, I started to see patients because we meet patients right before surgery. Okay. Mm-hmm. And when they come to you, they're at a point where there's not much you can do to change what happened when they came to you. And it's like you care for them in this high acuity stage. And once they leave you, there's not much you can do after they're gone. So you have to do the best that you can, knowing what you're presented with. Mm-hmm. And it kind of bothered me how much people do not know about how they got to where they are. And there is still this, I don't want to say negligence on what has happened and what is to come. Mm-hmm. So you do the best that you can. You find that moment to gain trust with your patient. You do the best that you can communicating with the staff that you work with, and that's it. And when things happen that, again, we always want everything to go 100% well, but it's not always in our hands what happens. You do the best that you can and know that you've done the best that you could do. Mm-hmm. And things happen, and there's this blaming game, and it goes, no, let's not blame. Let's look at ourselves and see what we could have done differently. And that's actually, it's out of my hands to convince you to see what you could have done differently. But what can I do for a patient to make them empowered by understanding why they were there in the first place, right? Mm-hmm. And so I thought, I'm feeling stuck, as if like I'm in this position where I'm taking care of one patient at a time and it's just not enough. I want to be able to do more. Meeting my husband, he just is one who, again, the most intelligent, compassionate, kind human being. And he's one who just is a forward thinker. He has been so encouraging, understanding my career, understanding, just what exactly we have to give. And we thought, we enjoy working together. Let's come up with something that we can do so that we can be engaged together and make a difference. And so it started out by us saying we wanted to start doing something as little as because the way to engage people is, for us, it's, by their health. So let's start a service where we can start to provide intravenous, vitamins, nutrients. And I was engaged in tennis for a while, and it's a capacity in which we exhaust ourselves, and then we get IV nutrition, and it's like, oh, this is great. It works. It's fast. Again, being an anesthesiologist, instant gratification. We want what we do to happen fast. Mm-hmm. So it's going, okay, let's start by doing that, because what we're doing is we're reviving people. We're actually resuscitating them. And that just kind of evolved. Like the more you learn and the more you're open to learning, you start to understand you have to treat people as a whole. And so you start to uncover other things that they're ailing from. And it's like, okay, let's make it into something bigger. And just that thought of mobile, services evolved into just nutrition, peptide, weight loss, and now just ways to revive the body, the skin, laser treatments. And that's how we've come to be. But truthfully, it also is just the fact that we love to work together, and we know together we can do something bigger and better for others.
That's awesome. So is your husband a doctor as well?
No, my husband, his name's Nathan Evans. His background is in education. He was an intervention specialist for 20 something plus years. He's worked in, just all different age groups. And he went from that and transitioned into real estate. And so he still has his real estate license. We found that, again, everything that we've done is a stepping stone to getting us prepared for where we're going. Like even now we feel is a transition point. We're excited for what's next.
That is cool. So as a physician-owned practice, how do you balance your medical expertise with this holistic, grace-guided philosophy?
Great question. So doing what we do, you have to understand that you have to want to learn. Okay. So it's engaging in activities that allows for active and passive learning. Okay. And the passive learning starts with, truthfully, every patient that we meet, just hearing them speak, hearing what their desires, their frustrations, their goals, and then taking it to that next step. We don't claim to know it all, but I'm not a dermatologist, but I'm learning so much about the skin right now, and I'm fascinated by what they know. But it piques our curiosity and allows us to learn more. So there's this passive learning that will always be in place because, we're just curious. We want to meet people. We want to talk to people. And the more that you do it, the more it becomes second nature. Yes, this was different because in the capacity in which I was providing service in a hospital, it's different now. Now it's almost like I'm trying to convince you that this is what you need to do. Whereas in the past, it's you didn't question it. You just performed, right? And so I think, again, this is a transition point. So it's not easy, but we love doing it. And there's just so many interesting things that are happening that it encourages us to continue to do it.
Yeah. So as far as education for your clients and your patients, how do you help them understand that confidence is in your natural beauty? And it's because it's such a powerful message and it's the tagline of your practice. So how do you educate and how do your services support and enhance that belief in your clients?
So I'm actually so grateful that this is the transition in which it's happening. It's medicine, and then we're transitioning into aesthetics. And every patient is so beautiful. Like, I just see it, right? I always feel as if I wasn't always detail oriented. Like, I just saw people, like, I just saw light, I saw spirit, I saw energy. I didn't see details, right? Mm-hmm. But now I kind of have to, so that I can say, okay, this is the little things that you can change. But I see beauty in everyone. But truthfully, there's something that we can do differently. And when you see little changes in yourself, it helps to enhance your confidence. And it comes from even me. Like, there are things about myself that I struggle with, and then when I see a change, it empowers me to, that, hey, I was able to achieve this, right? And it makes you feel good. And so you're always chasing that thing that is giving you that confidence. But ultimately, it has to come from a fulfillment within. And that's what we have to tap into. Otherwise, you'll continue to chase external results that will never lead to that internal fulfillment. But it's fascinating just how different we are, but everyone is just beautiful. Yeah,
that's
beautiful
awesome.
souls.
So tell me, what are all the services that you provide in office and then mobile, like when you're going to people's homes and things like that?
So currently we have, again, the concierge service is something we'd love to do, but not a lot of people are asking for it. And so we predominantly perform services in our office location. It's in Worthington, Lewis Center area. We also have allowed ourselves to be able to go to events and provide like IV, hydration, vitamins, like people who are engaged in sports activities or are having like, parties or, bridal, all kinds of stuff. We're able to take ourselves there. A lot of the services that I also provide are for people who are looking for lifestyle changes as far as medical weight loss. We're able to do things like that virtually. And also anti-aging remedies. Peptides are fascinating once you learn more about it. So that's how it's happening. A lot of the services are physical, but we have the capacity to travel and provide, IV nutrition. And we also have like laser devices that are transportable. And then we're doing a lot of virtual, just medical consults.
Okay. I'm curious about the IV nutrition. How does that work? And what exactly is it? I mean, is it just like B12 and then you get this jolt of energy? I've never done one. I've thought about it. I'm like, I kind of want to try it, but.
Yes, everyone should try it. Even like in the most disciplined client, you can't ingest enough to get your body to the homeostasis that it needs, right? We all do our best, but there are factors that are limiting to us and create this imbalance in our bodies. It's the stress, it's the environment, it's, just circumstances. So doing a rejuvenation where you're getting IV fluids supplemented with the vitamins, all the vitamins, B12, magnesium, calcium. And also like we found that when we do certain procedures, skin laser resurfacing, and we're able to hydrate the clients at the same time and then give them the very crucial vitamins like the biotin, alpha lipoic acid. It allows for better results. So for instance, like, the whatever it is that we're treating, which for a lot of us is we want to see our skin look very, glowy, hydrated. It happens faster and the healing happens faster. We support, getting your daily vitamins, but there's a limitation in how much your body will absorb. The bioavailability is not enough. So being able to supplement it with intravenous or sometimes even subcutaneous supplementation is better. So I would highly encourage, again, we are hoping to be able to reach out to people who are so productive. They don't do enough for themselves. There's not enough rest. So to just come in once a month and get an IV bag that has all the very crucial nutrients. The other ones that we highly endorse is vitamin D. To some degree, everyone has a deficiency in vitamin D. And yes, we love seeing it on patients' medication list when they're taking their oral vitamin D. It's still not enough. So once a month injection of vitamin D is enough to give you what you need. And the benefits is, cognitive function, your mental health, bone density. It helps to even reduce the chances of colon and breast cancer. So vitamin D is crucial and it gives you energy like you wouldn't believe. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I've only done like the little gel oral tablet, not tablets, but little gel capsules or whatever of vitamin D. But I never thought that was, something that she should do like on a regular basis. So that was my other question was monthly, was how often are you supposed to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Anything is better than nothing. But again, when you're busy and you don't want to have to, we become non-compliant when we have this long to-do list. So when you're able to get it done once, you're functional, you're healthy, and you're engaged, and you don't have to worry about it.
Do you set people up on a regimen or and say, hey, you need to do this monthly, but when you're also at home, what else are they supposed to do?
Well, again, it's the things that that are accessible to us. It's stay hydrated, use your products the way that you should. What we do in clinic is a fraction of what should be done at home. In clinic treatment versus at home treatment, two different things. Clinic is a short time. What you do at home matters the most. Okay. And it starts with finding a balance within yourself. Again, being fulfilled in yourself, be healed, right? And then that encourages you to do everything else. Hydration is extremely important. And then we can talk about even just the skin. The skin is huge, right? It's our biggest organ.
That's good. So let's talk about costs a little bit. I mean, do you think that concierge medicine is something that people are like, oh, I definitely wouldn't even be able to afford that? That's something that rich people can only do.
It is a thought, yes. And that's why when we went concierge versus mobile, we go concierge. We want this to be very inclusive. We don't want people to feel as if they can't afford these services. And I'm so glad that you brought it up. I think there is a cost associated with everything that we do. And I do say this all of the time. My biggest struggle is not being able to do what we do for free. This is why I want to just, we're ready to become missionaries, but we're not there yet. It's an investment. When you invest, you appreciate what you get out of it, which is what makes people more compliant and more engaged. Okay. Right. So there are different levels of what you can do. There are things that we're doing that is very unnecessary and we're wasting money on those things, right? Those things can be eliminated and instead substituted for what's necessary. So when it comes down to it, yes, there is a cost, but there is a cost in life in general. And there are things that has no cost to it. Again, eating well, staying hydrated, protecting yourself from the sun, keeping your heart, well. Those are things that are free. Showing love. That's where it starts. That's the biggest. And then there are little things here and there, the once a month vitamin D injection is $100. Like that, what vitamin D can do for your body, exceeds a lot. But then there are other things that, when you're looking to refine that you may want to consider. For instance, we highly endorse our laser resurfacing. It starts at $400, but what you're doing is you're preserving the collagen in your skin that keeps you youthful and, vibrant. And so those are things that if you don't have the cost for it, you don't have to worry about it. But if you if you're making it a priority, then you find a way to make it, affordable.
Right. Yeah, no, that's true. I think it's definitely an investment in your health. And a lot of times we kind of get so busy and caught up with everything else, we don't always make that a priority. So yeah, that makes so much sense. As a concierge, if you come to somebody's house and you're like, okay, I can see what vitamins you're taking. Like, nope, you should not be doing that. You should be doing this.
Of course. And then the other thing we like to emphasize is when you start taking care of yourself, you spend less money covering the things that are your insecurities. For instance, you use the proper skincare line, you don't have to wear as much makeup, right? And you start to need less. Yes, you will always need to put something on, but the amount that you put on is less because you're already established this youthful base that allows for low maintenance. And I think we've used this term before. Kind of have to be high maintenance to eventually be low maintenance. And it's like the smallest things. For me, what introduced me to the world of aesthetics was wanting to get laser hair reduction because I played tennis and I didn't want to have to shave a lot. So I was looking for a place where I could get treatment, and I couldn't find it until finally I found a place that would cater to my skin type. And once I was there, I was exposed to this world of other things that I should be doing to make me feel good, right? And now I don't have to spend 20 minutes shaving because I've gotten that taken care of. So that's saving me time. It's saving me money.
Right.
You know, I don't have to buy razors.
Yeah.
So,
or wax every.
Yes, exactly. So it's an investment that then leads to low maintenance.
Yeah. I mean, you could call it girl math, or you could.
Yes, it is girl math. And truthfully, I'm not even kidding you. Like vitamin D, the energy you get from it, guess what? Because we're consumers of the services that we provide. You don't need coffee as much anymore. Coffee costs a lot of money, right? So it's like your skin feels great. Your brain is good. You have energy. Guess what? You're saving money.
Right. So what else is in this infusion, other than vitamin D?
Yeah. So people are coming in we treat different conditions, dehydration, acne, just hangover, overall wellness. Our vitamins spans everything from all of the B vitamins. We have vitamin C. We have zinc. We have glutathione is one that I also highly endorse. Great for the skin, helps to brighten the skin, helps with immunity. We have magnesium. We have biotin, calcium, all the good stuff. So whatever it is.
You could do that, an infusion for like acne.
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. Yes. It reduces the amount of breakouts that are happening. So we always have to explain that the things that we're struggling with, the conditions that we're struggling with happen over time. Don't expect a magic one-time fix. It's a process. Again, this is something that, being an anesthesiologist, instant gratification, I want to see things happen fast. It's not necessarily the right way to go about it. For instance, these enhancements that are happening with, the filler and getting this big and all this, it's like you have to get your skin healthy. Otherwise, you're causing more damage by injecting things in your skin. You're causing this expansion that eventually will create more problems. So let's get to the root cause. Let's be patient. Let's believe in the process. And then let's enjoy the benefits of it.
Yeah, I love that.
So, yeah.
That is so good. So, okay, so you've got licenses in multiple states, so you can travel. Is there any plan for you to take your concierge medicine in other places?
So actually, I should have mentioned that when we first started discussing the services, we enjoy going to Carnival, Soca Carnival, because the carnivals happen in different locations all times of the year. The biggest ones are in Trinidad, in Brazil, in Canada. So to be able to take our services to these places where at first we thought we can hydrate the crowd, but we can also focus on these artists. They work so hard. And I often wonder what it is that they're doing to recuperate. I hope they're doing something because they are giving us life in the music. So that would be like my ultimate goal. Like seeing what they do it's admirable. I don't know what they're doing to get there, but I'd be curious to know if we introduce this, what we call simple vitamins into your life, giving it to you intravenously. I'm curious to see what else you would do. Are you just going to go flying? So yeah, we're excited. We love meat. We love interacting with people. We love liveliness. We love making people see happy. We love making people happy. So yes, wherever God leads is where we'll go. But
I love that.
Yeah.
That is so good. Well, thank you so much for your time and sharing all of this. This is so exciting, and I'm so excited to see what you're doing. Are you on Instagram, or how can anyone find you?
We're on Instagram at Medela _Amor. MEDELA_AMOR.
Okay. And then your website too. And we'll also put that in the show notes. But if they're interested in reaching out and having you come over, I might have to schedule something soon.
But yes, we'd love for you to go on our website, www.medelaamor.com. On our Instagram, you can text us. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to. And if we don't have the answers, trust me, we're going to go looking for it, or we'll direct you to where you can go for answers. So
that's awesome.
This is huge. Like, what you do, I find so incredible, because if it were up to me, I just crawl under a shell and just be like, hey, this is what I have to say. For you being in the spotlight,
it gets easier for sure.
You are making a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me and listening to That's Derm Good. You can expect new episodes of That's Derm Good every week. The podcast is available on your favorite app, including where you're listening right now. Subscribe to the podcast so you never miss a new episode. Bye.